Game number one, everybody! HeroesHype Premier Series. The playoffs of the last one are over. We had washed up taking the title, and now we're already in the second split, or the second season, so to say, of this. Dragonshire is our first map here, as the teams are all getting ready again. And we had, of course, a couple of changes also with the teams. Granit Gaming, for example, switching out 2 of their players, and they have now been joined by Copenhagen. And Chris is actually playing for this entire season for them as well. In today's game, they go up against Feel the Heat, and well, after the last HeroesHype series, there was of course more of a shuffle in players. So Feel the Heat, one of the more newly formed teams with Gulnar, we have Stork, Kiewa, and Khaldor on that lineup. It's actually a really interesting mix of players that we're having, and it should be a lot of fun to see how they can perform here. Definitely some players that can be very, very strong and have proven themselves in various teams previously, but there was obviously a bit of a shake-up there. The teams are not quite as stable anymore as they have been in the past here. Now with that said, we're having for Granit Gaming the ban against Maiev, and Feel the Heat bans out Zeratul right away. Obviously Tai is still part of Granit Gaming, and therefore you need to be a bit more careful with what you're banning out, since his Zeratul and his Tracer, as well as a couple of the mages, are quite powerful from him. Key heroes, obviously. Now, part of the lineup that they used in the past is gone. Fury has left the team, and so has Svamkrota. So both of them gone, and Fury was the side laner for them. That had oftentimes a huge impact on those games as well. So we're going to see how the new lineup is going to work for them. We're on Dragonshire as the #1 map in the best of 3 series in our first round of the tournament. And with this, we're now also having Abatha and Hanzo banned out. First pick again for Granit, and this is going to be an interesting one because you're either talking about a top lane pick, or we could even see that Tirana that they oftentimes take on any map. And that's exactly what we're seeing. Henning is just not fucking around here. He's immediately saying, like, give me my Tirana, I'm done with this stuff. We're going to start things off strong as we're heading into the second phase, second part, second season here for this one. Then again, on the other side, we don't really know too much yet about Feel the Heat, how they are going to work as a unit and how they are going to prioritize drafting here. We had in the past, obviously, Stork just shifting mostly into the main tank position. That's a role that Wit has taken for his previous teams too. And at least so far, it seems like we're having both of them again at the front line. So Wit currently playing Johanna, and Stork seems to be the one shifting his attention more so onto the side lane. And as we mentioned in the past, Rexa is still an absolute staple on Dragonshire on that solo lane. Super powerful with Misha. You can hold the shrine and the experience in the lane at the same side, since you control 2 elements of the hero, whereas any other hero has to pretty much shift between the 2. Chen, then again, has proven to be quite powerful in the recent weeks and is a lockdown already, as in a lot of series he's actually getting banned even. So Chen is going to try and deal with Rexa. The top is a pretty beastly lane here, as Lauber finds himself on ETC, and we come back to our oldie but goldie combo with Turan and ETC, stun into stun, the quick power slay straight into a Tyrande stun. What they still need is the burst damage behind it, and that's obviously where Tai then comes into play, and Chris obviously too. Jaina, therefore, I mean, burst damage gets banned out. That's the first thing that they're trying to get rid of. No more Jaina for them, and obviously focusing on Granit Gaming. When it comes to bans for them, they could even try and play a bit about banning out the support here, banning out one of the healers. It's not really too obvious what you could go for here on the side of Feel the Heat, but a support ban would definitely not be the worst, and there's the Malfurion ban. So after we've seen Rexa coming in with Misha, after we see Johanna with the Condemn, with the Blessed Shield, there's not going to be an immediate route on that. And it also shuts down a couple of combos on the side of what you can do with the damage output itself. As it stands though, double pick for Feel the Heat and the newly formed team. Let's see what they actually going to do here. Tracer and Rhaegar, and that's exactly what I mentioned, or what I hinted at when I talked about the Malfurion ban, that you shut down a couple of the attack combos, and Tracer in particular is oftentimes played with Malfurion because that heal over time is pretty awesome for Tracer if there's a bit of an overheal when you can jump in for this. But in this case they have to rely on Rhaegar instead. We're having also Chris with Vala going into the Vala setup, and Tai finds himself on Tassadar. That's actually an interesting one. Don't see one on this one too often, but now we have a double support together with Chen for Vala, so very strong setup for Chris to do the work here in this game. And what are we going to get for Feel the Heat? The last pick for them still should be another damage dealer, unless they are willing to go into... I mean, again, if you want to play it second support, it's usually Tassadar. We've seen the variation with Zarya. And if you already named Feel the Heat, there's a chance we're going to get that. But it's the bird. You have the global, you have a bit more damage, and that's what Feel the Heat relies upon as we're heading into game number 1 of the best of 3 series here on Dragonshire. Feel the Heat goes up against Granit Gaming. Game number 1, ladies. We have Granit Gaming with Henning on Tyrande, Koopmagen on Chen, Lauber on ETC, Tai on Tassadar, and Chris on Vala in game number 1. Feel the Heat on the other side for the red team with Wit on Johanna, Galnagulna on Rhaegar, Stalk on Rexa. We have Kierva on Tracer and Kolios on Falstad. It's definitely a strong lineup for them. The only question now remains, how successful is that going to be in the long run here for them? It's interesting that we actually have 4 players already focusing at the bottom of the map, and Rexa is currently the only one moving straight into the middle to try and stem the tides here for a little bit longer. If that's going to be successful or not, that's a different question. But there's also a wraparound attempt as we're having Wit trying to come in from the side. But the quick Oracle from Tassadar shut that down very, very quickly here. So yeah, good job from them. Already we're having Wit starting to take a lot of damage here as Lauber is already attempting to jump onto him, and that could be the first kill, and indeed it is. The game starts off after 30 seconds with the frontliner of Granit Gaming being eliminated. Not the start that they were intending. They actually hoped to get a kill by simply flanking in from behind. That did not work out at all. And now with the double support setup, there's heavy aggression at the bottom of the map as we're seeing Chris trying to destroy the first tower. And this is something that you can definitely do if you're playing a setup with the double support here and Vala. She can be quite powerful on that end. Now the top side, now that we're having things starting to calm down slightly, is obviously consisting of Chen going up against Rexa, as we mentioned in the draft itself. But there's also now the advantage that Feel the Heat has in terms of damage towards mercenaries and creep camps in general. Now that we're having a lightning shield active on Rhaegar, so they can get this one a little bit faster, focusing their attention onto the Bruiser camp, as we're seeing the Siege Giant camp taken down at the bottom of the map, and the mercenaries are now going to move through the bot lane to try and empower that push with Chris's Vala a little bit more. And that can be quite nasty, especially since Lauber is joining the fun now as well. So we're going to have a push at the top lane with the Bruiser camp, whereas down at the bottom of the map we're seeing this setup instead. And it's going to be a little bit of a race, to be honest. I mean, we have Tassadar coming in and trying to help out with a bit more AoE damage, as long as we're seeing that spell aura in play. That's going to be tricky to really get enough damage in there. Kolios nearly falling down at the bottom of the map. That was a close call. But either way, this is a massive push that we're now seeing from Granit Gaming, and a very, very strong one at that. So here comes the pressure. Wit already getting locked down again, but this time he has the Iron Skin up. Falstad flies back in after already saving himself earlier and moving back to the Nexus for additional HP. The top lane is obviously reciprocating here, trying to get additional damage out as they are pushing through the entire wall with the help of the Bruiser camp they took earlier. Can't really do too much just yet, and, well, at least Misha goes down. ETC has made the rotations, trying to put the pain onto Kierva, and Tracer has eaten a lot of damage here, but at the bottom of the map, the fountain is already gone. Here comes the flank from Wit as he moves in from behind, but is not able to lock someone down for long enough so that Falstad can get a kill there. The Hunter-Gatherer taken on level 4 for Rexa, so he is going to look at the extra armor for Mishan himself. In addition to that, we're seeing also the multi-shot hybrid build for Vala. Typical build, absolute standard, and obviously the extra armor for Tassadar. I mean, these days, again, the 2 dominant builds by Vala are still the multi-shot hybrid and then also the arrow build per se. Arrow build mostly common on Battlefield of Eternity, but depending on the lineup, you also see the build used on other maps. Falstad is in trouble right now. Nicely done by ETC. Even holding back the power slide, not YOLOing in on that at all. Knew obviously that it was still a cooldown on the barrel roll, and they capitalized on the body blocks from ETC and then using the slide later to secure the kill. Very well played by them. And a great job here. So Chris right now already sitting at the Siege Giants, trying to take them down as quickly as they can. Top side, we're having still our 1 versus 1, where Rexa is going to hold on to that shrine for a long time. But now that Chen has a couple of additional talents, he can actually start to pressure the main target and is taking him down. That's the cool thing about Chen. Once that you have him with, well, additional talents, in this case Deadly Strike and Elusive Brawler, you can really start to home in on Rexa if he moves out a bit too fast. And that's too far. That's exactly what happened here. At the bottom of the map, still more pressure, and Khaldor in trouble and gets wrecked. Wit tries to retake the channel, but they are absolutely getting dominated here. Another quick kill against Tracer secures kill number 5 for the team. And it seems like we're having Johanna fall to 6 kills against 0. Granit Gaming showcasing their strength again. The newly changed roster with Chris and Koopmagen now playing for them seems to do fairly well here. I mean, Koopmagen doing fantastic on the offlane right now, having a solo kill against Rexa too. And then at the bottom of the map, Chris obviously a fantastic assassin player, and he is proving that right now as we speak. Not overstaying here. Didn't greed for the fort itself, just moves back for now, and they can take that later on at any point. Entire level lead now for the blue team. Granit Gaming with a fantastic start into this. It's game number 1 of the best of 3 series. Now granted, feel the heat. As experienced as these players might be, obviously needs a bit more experience as a 5-man setup before they can really contest the top team here. But, well, there's always a chance that you come back with a little bit more aggression and the newfound power in a honeymoon phase whenever a new team forms that allows you to take down tough opponents. So they might be able to pull this off at some point. But currently it really looks like Granit Gaming is going to have a huge advantage heading into this mid-game now. With 6 kills against 0, entire level lead, heroic abilities at this point. And, well, having Stray for Chris, who went obviously into Arsenal. In addition to that, we're having them also with not only the fort at the bottom about to be destroyed, but also we're having Lauber taking the control again. And that means there's a chance to even grab the Dragon Knight. But the center of attention has shifted for the red team towards the mid and the top lane. So they're pretty much abandoning the bot lane for the time being. And that allows for not only the Siege Giants to take this one, but with the fort gone, there's going to be catapult pressure on the lane as well. Only with every 3rd wave, there will be a catapult spawning. But still, not too bad. Top side, that's another big question here. Tassadar already trying to move in for it. And yeah, Wit again looking for the setup. He has by now the Blessed Shield. We have level 10 abilities for them. That's the Bestial Wrath in their hands too, so more of a focus on Misha instead of going for the boars here. Nothing is going to get unleashed in this game by the Beastmaster. Yeah, there's ETC on the other hand, and they're already trying to body block Johanna. Oh, the slide misses! Yeah, now ETC may be in trouble himself. Strafe getting already used. Chris is trying to zone them now out, and the Ancestral and the Mighty Gust have both to be used in order to save the front line. Good job by the blue team, but also a nice retreat that we've just seen from the team in red. Feel the heat, trying to just stem the pain. Because right now, I mean, they are bleeding. They need to stop this as quickly as they can. Haven't gotten a kill yet. But if you look at experience, it's not really that bad for them just yet. I mean, they're really starting to close that gap quite nicely. Obviously, if they at this point can also start to secure a couple of kills for themselves, we would look at a very different game here. But Lauber, with a nice setup, is able to get away, using the face melt and the power slide to get out of harm's way. 12 stacks for Rexa, just saying, so he's still a little bit far away from getting the extra armor. Once he has that, it's going to be easier for him too. And down here, Chris is still just killing it on 0. Nice Blessed Shield, but not nearly enough damage to really deal with the situation. And once again, we're having the pressure onto Reka. Khaldor is low, and they're starting to jump in onto the bird. ETC jumping into the backline. Fawcett is already down, and here comes ETC with another quick kill. Lauber with a well-done execution against the little doggy, and that is that. 2 more down, 8 kills against 0, and now with nearly level 13 in their hands, the attempt to also go for the first Dragon Knight of their game. In addition to that, we're seeing now 36,000 damage from Vala, the double support making it possible. But just to put this in perspective, take a look at the damage output from Feel the Heat. Top damage in the game, Rexa for them. Trading into Chen the entire time allows you obviously to stack a lot of damage that you otherwise wouldn't be able to. But we have only 11,000 damage for Tracer as well. It's not really getting too much value here just now. Again, the little attacks that keep happening. Wid is trying to move out now. He held it for as long as he possibly could, but now he might be in trouble. Ancestral is ready, but doesn't even have to be used here. And in the middle of the map, we're having the battle between Copenhagen and Stork. The bird is already starting to shift over onto that lane too. The fight up at the top is still ongoing. Ancestral actually hitting Jojo. And here comes the attack against Chen. Mighty Gust getting used. Chen doesn't have the ult ready. Can't use that to escape. Kieva just barely got out. And the bear is eliminated as Misha falls. Wit is again on the run, but it seems like there's no way for them to interrupt this long enough. There's a quick flashlight attempt, but that's the only interrupt that they really have here, unless Kieva goes back in deep, and he does. But that might be the end of him, and indeed it is. At least allowed Rexa to take the top shrine, so that helped a little bit. But they're just buying time here. And not really a lot of that either. They have level 13 now, but still 9 kills against 0. And the quest is also now completed for Tacita. Tai is doing a great job here on the hero. Lauba is holding this again a bit longer. Can they get the Dragonite in the meantime? Falset is flying into the middle, interrupting Tacita, but the fight at the bottom of the map might yield another victim. Good blessed shield. Well done by Wit. He might fall, but he just saved the little doggy. Rhaegar still alive. Wit then again is getting body blocked right now, is trying to escape and might just be able to get away. Nah, Khaldor with a safe attempt, and he pulls it off. But now the rest of the team is in trouble again. Kieva is able to get out. So is Khaldor. And I gotta admit, this is pretty impressive that they were able to deny the Dragonite. I wouldn't have thought it possible. So we didn't see a single Dragonite in this game yet, and we're already 10 minutes in. So Feel the Heat is really just digging their heels in and just saying, we're gonna make this as difficult for you as we possibly can. Now that we're nearly well, we're actually, with this camp, once it's taken, only a single stack away from Rexa getting his animal husbandry, his hunter-gatherer completed on level 4. And that would mean that he is actually in a spot where he can start to rely on that extra armor. Wouldn't it be amazing if you could complete animal husbandry? How many stacks did you get? I got all the stacks. Indefinite hit points. Unkillable. Kolios, and again, he's not unkillable, far from it. The bird is down again, back into the KFC bucket. ETC is jumping into the middle, where we're currently having at least one kill. Finally, the first one for Feel the Heat. They were able to take Chen down, but the fight is still ongoing here, and the 16 advantage is a big one. As Strafe is getting used, Chris is already sitting there pushing a bit more damage out. By now, with the level 16 talents, we're also having Psionic Echo, the Frost Shot, and the Flying Leap in play. There's a big push now with the camp. So Feel the Heat is definitely fighting back as much as they can, but obviously it's a tough game for them right now. It's amazing to me that we didn't see a Dragonite yet. 12 minutes into this. And this fort is about to fall. Guys, we're gonna see even structures on this map, which is insane if you think about it. I mean, we're looking at 10 kills against 1 in this game. 10 kills against 1. A minute ago, I feel like he didn't have a single kill in this game. And they just sit here and somehow make it happen. And it's even structures, as I said. So down at the bottom of the map, another attack, and with Frost Shot, they should get the kill, but Rhaegar's there, so, well, could even go for the panic button, but doesn't even have to do that. Rhaegar himself needs to be careful, though. I mean, he can self-ancestral again, so that helps him. And just look at the rest. They're starting to make a play up for the top as they're going for a double camp setup. And there is a big push happening at the bottom of the map, but honestly, with a double camp, well, one nearly taken down, you could start to make the play for the top keep now, too. So it is actually starting to become a bit interesting to see Feel the Heat performing this well, considering how this entire game started. They're still behind. There's the attack to also, the attempt to go for the power slide. Lauba slides in a bit too deep, gets attacked by 2 keeps for a moment. And they're trying to save him, they actually do. But they might lose Chen. Copenhagen was low. And the bird is still pushing this. ETC already jumped in, and the bird is at the top lane and saying like, boys, I'm going for it. This is a crazy game. Game number 1. And it feels like the spirit animal of Stork has followed the team here. I mean, Stork's spirit animal for Team Russia, as we already established in the previous season, was definitely the cockroach. Because, let's face it, you can't just... What the fuck was that? What is this? Division 7? What did he just do? I mean, not only that he used his global this late, I'm gonna give it the benefit of the doubt and say that it was still on cooldown. But once that you have it ready and you can escape from Chen because he can't stop you, then please just go for a proper fly. Like, what was that? That was... like, I honestly don't know what to say there. He got the keep, though. I mean, they are ahead in structures at this point. He got the keep. The problem is that it looks like they're gonna get the Dragon Knight now. And yeah, you definitely do. So, Dragon Knight is taken, and that is going to change the balance very quickly. I mean, the balance is already fairly in the hands of Granit Gaming, but thanks to them losing the top keep, it could have shifted. The problem is that right now, the Dragon Knight is gonna take aim at the key bot lane, and it's going to get this one for sure. So let's see what's going to happen with that. Already starting to move in, as we can tell, and this keep is going to fall. The only question is, can you hold the core? Because that's going to be the next target. If they can get a couple of kills, then that is going to be a successful one at that. ETC with the jump again. Yeah, already the Mighty Gust being used still. As the core getting attacked as we speak. 83,000 damage on Bala. Look at the top damage on the side of Feel the Heat. Only 27,000. For Tassadar, but it's enough to get the kill against Chen. The core is falling slowly and steadily. They're trying to burn the Dragon Knight down. Bala is dead too, and that's a big one. Damage dealer is already out of commission, but the core is falling, and it's falling fast. Oh my god, 16%! They're not going to be able to take it. 15% on the core, and Lauba is dead as well. And now we're having Feel the Heat with a lead in experience, but can they end the game? I think they can. Guys, they have 2 catapults on the core any second. They are going to win this. If Falstad burns... Falstad needs to burn this wave down. Honestly, I don't know what Khaldor is doing. He needs to burn that wave down, but one catapult is down. Can they at least get the next one? Yeah, they should win this right now. This is insane. They're actually taking it. Feel the Heat, turns it around and wins game number 1. Absolutely insane as the Red team takes the lead in the best of 3 series. Game 2. Granit Gaming actually lost it. They had, I mean, what was it? 10 kills against 1, 12 kills against 1 at some point. But Feel the Heat held on for the longest time in the game. They allowed a single Dragon Knight, and Granit Gaming was hoping that they can actually end with it. Turns out that they couldn't, so they got wiped at the core. And Feel the Heat, thanks to Falstad, took previously the top lane. And the keep itself on the top lane too, which allowed them to just move cross map and end the game there. So now we're going into Volskaya Foundry, and Granit Gaming is behind in this series. Not something that I expected to say, but it is a bit crazy. And now we're having, well, Maiev banned out again. And the immediate ban against Vala. The problem is that I don't really know if that's going to do the trick here. Now, we've seen Chris already for his previous team in the last season for Washed Up, or another Washed Up 2.0, whatever you want to call them, play a lot of the offlane. So they can definitely shift players around. They can put Chris on a different position, can put Ty onto one of his strong damage heroes. The ETC ban I like as well though, because ETC is something that Granit Gaming like traditionally to play a lot with, not only for the combo with Tyrande, but also for the flexibility that a stage dive can give you if you need a global hero on a big map. But this is of course Volskaya Foundry, so slightly adjusted priorities with a lot of heroes. This might be one of the maps where we see Zarya if one of the teams is actually thinking about picking her. Chris immediately on Hanzo. Not really waiting long for that pick, but let's see what we're having Feel the Heat start up with again. Chen is again another question. Yeah, there he is. Chen already taken. Okay, so Stalk gets his Chen. We have Wit taking Tyrael. Another hero that was strong with in the past. But yeah, let's see how Granit reacts. Are we going to see that Tyrande pick, for example, again, that we normally see from them? Oftentimes coming in as the first pick, but in this case, Malfurion. Or also Tranquility, which is likely going to be the talent for them. But yeah, that's it. Rexa! Alright, so Rexa and Chen pretty dominant on both of the maps so far. Great solo laners in general. Thrall would have fit here well. Imperious, he could have played him, just to name 2 more. Dehaka has fallen off quite a lot, and you don't really see him here that much anymore. Even on bigger maps, depends heavily on if you need a global or not. I think the exception is Sky Temple, but outside of that, Dehaka doesn't play that much of a big role any longer. In terms of bans, is that still going to be a ban on Thai's heroes? No. Instead, we're banning Garrosh. Right. Garrosh gets taken out, and Granit Gaming, what are we going to get from them? I mean, if you go for a next ban here, can ban again support, for example. Hammer time is also not a bad idea, honestly. Kiev has played that in the past quite a lot, so another good ban from them. And a smart one too. I mean, if you have already Chen to zone them out. In this case, if you actually play with Hammer, then even Barrel might not be a bad idea. Generally speaking, Barrel is just a shit talent compared to the pandas that you can get, especially since these days with the increased bump range, it's like a lot harder to actually get a target isolated, which is traditionally what you want to do. But if you play with Hammer, then you can use it to just zone out. And yeah, in this case, you have Tyrael also for the shields, for just like sanctification. So Hammer is definitely a decent ban here. Li Ming and Ana, which means that we have a nano boosted Li Ming here, so it comes down to Kirva's performance on Li Ming to quite a bit. But we are still looking for Thai's hero right now. Chris obviously has Hanzo to play around. And there's Mal'Ganis for Lauber, like said at the front line. We've seen this in the playoffs of the previous part of the... in the previous season of the HeroesHype tournament. Phoenix gets picked, and Alarak. Alarak is in as well. Nano-boosted Alarak becomes an option now too. And with that, we're heading into the second map. So let's see if Granit Gaming can force Game 3 or Feel the Heat is going to take a 2-0 victory here. Game number 2, ladies. Granit Gaming against Feel the Heat. Heading on Malfurion, Thai on Phoenix, we're having Copenhagen on Rexa, Lauber on Mal'Ganis, and we have Chris on Hanzo. The team is down one game in the best of 3, which is kind of interesting considering how map number 1 started off. Feel the Heat with the lead on Wit on Tyrael, Galnagulna on Ana. We have a Stalk on Chen, Kieva on Li Ming, and Kolios is playing Alarak. So yeah, let's see actually if they're able to turn this, because game 1 was kind of crazy. I mean, they did really well holding on for this long, but I never really believed that they would be able to just move cross map and take it there. Even when the team got wiped, I just felt that we were gonna be in for a longer game. But Feel the Heat made it possible. They had 2 catapults already on the core. Falset had his global up, could move in as well. So yeah, nicely done. And I mean, their resilience in particular was fantastic. It just seems to be a trademark of whatever Stalk's team is at, that they're always fighting back into this. And this one is not any different. Now it's the same lineup that we had in the last game for the solo. We have Chen against Rexa. This time the 2 teams switched heroes, but it's still the same 1-on-1 that we're seeing there. Alarak is someone that we're going to keep an eye on. Previously, of course, negatively charged got nerfed. We still see the talent coming in, but there's now more variation on the level 4 talent here than we've seen previously. And it's going to come down to, well, the nano-boosted mages, especially, of course, Li Ming. If Kieva can get those the resets in, then that is going to be more than enough for him to get this done. Wit is helping now with the camp. Again, traditional setup, you try to get those turrets as quickly as you can once that the 1 minute mark spawns the turret camps or the mercenaries here, and then you can focus your attention onto the top, and that's exactly what's happening from both now. So there we go. This one an easy grab to be taken. Nice quest completion there also for Alarak, capitalizing a little bit on the stacks here, and obviously the presence of Misha per se. 2 minutes into the game, and things are looking good for Granit Gaming. And again, it's a small advantage, but it's these small advantages that you are edging out for your team that allow you then eventually to take a bigger lead. So especially heading into objective number 1, your goal is to snowball this slowly and steadily. Use the first objective to set up the second objective, the second to set up the third, and in the meantime get an advantage in experience and also map control if you play that flawlessly here. So with this mentioned, we're also having now indeed on level 4 the negatively charged, so the bonus damage increase has been reduced to 4% instead of 5%, as we've seen before. Not a lot of stacks, by the way, for Rexa. It's actually kind of interesting. He's sitting at a single stack. We're 2.5 minutes in, and he's sitting at 1 stack. Copenhagen only got a single regeneration globe after level 4. Now again, obviously he didn't have the level 4 talent for the entire time, But I actually thought that he was long enough in there to get a bit more than that. But he's connecting this one. I'm making more of a big deal out of this than it actually is. So yeah, I kind of highlighted this a little bit too much. But again, I thought he would have a bit more there. 3 stacks by now for Alarak. Obviously, his late game is going to become important here. And let's see, what else do we have? In this case, already Kieva starting to prepare the lane a little bit. We're having, at this point, the blue team taking control first. Up at the top, it's obviously about the camps again. Down here, at the same time, we're still having our little setup against Wit. Ooh, and actually Hanzo goes down. That was a quick kill against Chris. And that obviously shuts down the ambitions for Granit Gaming on the first objective pretty much instantly. Now, they don't have to give it up. They can still wait for Hanzo to come back. And then we're going to have a bit of a rematch between those. There is an earlier level 7 that we have for Granit Gaming, but that's not going to give them a huge edge now, since they needed to wait for Hanzo. That gave enough time for Feel the Heat to get their own level 7 ability. And the Calamity, particularly, is going to make a big difference there. And here we go again. Elusive Brawler is in. There's the Megaganus setup with level 7 now also bringing us the Will of Tichondrios. A little bit more sustained for him outside of stuns. And talking stuns, Wit actually got completely blocked there for a moment. Stock is coming in to help out. Needs to be cautious too. He's the only one that I let get away with the red War Master Chen skin. I mean, again, he's going full Mother Russia here with this, and I think that's absolutely understandable. For everybody else, I still insist that the white one is just better. Just looks way cooler. Snow Panda action, full on force, but Stork getting away with the red setup here for sure. For Mother Russia. And Misha, even though Misha's on the other side. But again, they're also playing in red, so maybe that gives them a little bit of a boost, like who knows. Maybe it's a motivational boost. Either way, it was enough to give them game number 1. Misha is already down, and we're having the attack coming in again, as we're seeing them starting to reclaim that control point, or at least trying to. They get the position on it. 11 stacks for Alarak. Here comes Lauber again, trying to put everybody into sleep here. And they're actually still holding on the position and getting the points in, which is amazing to me, honestly, with how quickly we've seen the entire red team jump on this. And now they're about to get the Protector as well. Nicely played. They get the kill against Gen 2, and they get the kill against Liming. Granit Gaming on fire in the early game. Reminds me a little bit of game number 1. So, Feel the Heat is exactly where they want to be right now. Kappa. No, but obviously, yeah, at this point, Granit Gaming is going to be very determined to shut the entire attempts of Feel the Heat to end this with a 2-0 down as quickly as they can. They already move up to the top lane with the Protector, as they should, to prepare for objective number 2 and burn this down as quickly as they can. The main goal being, of course, to take down the Fountain. If you take the Fountain down, that's already the first step to victory. If you can take the entire fort, that would be a dream. But with the first Protector, that's oftentimes not possible. But they're still going to try to do as much damage as they possibly can here. And that's actually quite a bit. It's more than 50% that they just took down with this one. Level 10 abilities are in for them as well, so they just need to wait for the minion wave so that the fort shots are blocked by the minions, and then they can make their play. And they take the entire thing. That's exactly what you need to do when you have a talent advantage on level 10. You're trying to push in a bit more aggressively. You're trying to get a little bit of damage done here and just capitalize on that big advantage, which is what we're seeing from them right now. Well played. Very, very well. So currently, we're having our little setup here. Top lane again against Lauber. This time it's a 5-man against the front line, and Granit Gaming loses their tank. And that means that, again, we're talking about advantages and capitalizing on them. What is right next to the top lane? Exactly, it's the cap. You have a 5 versus 4. Hell yeah, go for it. Move in and take the item. So this is exactly what you need to do if you're playing on a competitive level. You have small advantages and you're trying to capitalize on them by simply moving in and just grabbing an item, grabbing a fort, grabbing a kill, whatever it is that presents itself. That's what you need to go for. And those advantages will slowly and steadily just add up and then give you a big lead in the game itself. So now we're having 4 stacks, by the way, for Chris on his level 1 for Hanzo. We're seeing Rexa, played by Kokmang, with 16 stacks now on the level 4, so his Hunter-Gatherer is soon going to be completed. Game number 1. When it comes to stacks, especially Alarak, he's sitting at 17. He's still on the main damage, 14,000 for him. Has a chance with diligent stacking to get the top damage in the game, even against someone like Hanzo. But we have to wait for that. With this now said, top side, Lauber, still with one turret, is trying to home on to Wit. Obviously, if they can take down Material here, it would eliminate the healing item also from the grasp of Feel the Heat. But the objective is soon gonna come up here, as we're having a 4-man already rotating topside. There's the arrow, getting completely dodged. Nicely done by Feel the Heat, seeing that early. And Chris can't capitalize on that. There's another ult coming in, as we're having Rexa dropping the boars. That's actually a bit of an issue, but down here, the Triple Panda's trying to get away. And Stork in trouble, but the Sanctification is saving the Panda's hairy butt. Rexa has the extra armor now. So far, the next objective isn't announced yet, and that means that level 13 will be ready. Yeah, good timing. 13 will be ready for Granit Gaming. And again, Feel the Heat, if they split onto the lanes, should be able to grab it just in time for the objective as well. They need the extra talent, of course, but the advantage for now still goes to Granit Gaming and allows them to take the position a little bit earlier. So already starting to move towards the top lane. Not really too much else done here, and they will get the lead. Will get the advantage into this one. Even a bit of a trap already being set up here. Tai is taking the very, very safe rotation towards the bottom of the map, though. So yeah, he's not going to fall for that anytime soon. And he now sees also Kirva in play. So definitely knows that he made the right choice there. Could have been easy kill for Feel the Heat if he would have gone for the direct path. But now we're level 13 on both sides. There's still a chance that we're seeing here. Tai playing obviously around the shield. He's going up against 2, but it means that the top is likely going to be taken by Granit Gaming. If Feel the Heat doesn't make a rotation there eventually, then they are going to run into a big problem, and that big problem is called Protector number 2. So, yeah, mid lane is also pressuring, and that might not take down the fort just yet, but it's definitely going to significantly damage it. That is a little bit of an odd one. Tai falling after all. Okay, that was definitely not something I expected here. Tai at the bot lane gets taken out, and that takes a little bit of the sting away from this entire Granit Gaming setup and allows Feel the Heat to move topside and reclaim the position. Tai playing super safe at the start, but yeah, then overstepping slightly, and Kirva rotated back down. Allowed the rest of the team to do their thing in the middle. And now they have retaken the position here. So that's 3 kills now against 2, and Feel the Heat has a lead in kills. I mean, they lost structures, and they lost a lot of that too, but now Lauber might be in a bit of trouble. Arrow missing again. Didn't connect with anybody here. Yeah, there's also Tranquility, but it's not enough. The stagger dead, but Chen is there too. Chen down. Morgana's down. Can they kill Kirva? That would be fantastic. Was trying to get the Calamity kill, but can't get that either. Would, of course, have helped him also with the dominance if he can pull that off. But they're still making the play for the Protector itself. 15 against 14. This is still starting to become a little bit more dicey for Granit Gaming than they expected. Because now we're having the red team starting to take the control over the point. There's already the combo as we have Tai coming in with a salvo. But it's not enough to get a kill. This is really where it comes into play that there is no fountain for Feel the Heat. They have no fountain up at the top, and that's a big issue. Because there's still that retreat point for the blue team. Granit Gaming can tap their own well, and they can also fall back here behind the fort itself. Wit is dropping his item, is trying to keep himself alive. Yeah, not using Sanctification just yet. Holds it back for as long as he possibly can. Lauber moves in, gets dodged. Sanctification gets used, and the arrow misses again. 3 arrows from Hanzo in a row now, not connecting. Nano boosted, Li Ming is trying to turn it, but by now we're having the full 5-man of Granit Gaming up on the top lane, and they're taking another Protector here. Nicely done. Now, when it comes to damage, we're actually looking at 31,000 from Hanzo. Alarak is sitting at 24k. There's a fair amount of sadism now, too. Sitting at 112, if I'm not mistaken. 16 talents are ready for the blue team, and they're taking the fort in the middle on their way down to the bottom of the map as they're attempting to prepare for objective number 3, which will obviously spawn bot side. In terms of talents, we're now having also the worst actor in the universe feigning his death again. Nobody believes that shit, Rexa, but he keeps trying, So yeah, gets his feigned death. We're also having 22 stacks on the level 4 for Alarak. By no means enough to really get big damage in those team fights. But if you can delay the game a little bit longer and keep the stacks coming, then that might definitely change. They have a level 16 now too. And that gives us, in addition to that, also the Lightning Barrage, which is going to be important for him, together with the Mirror Ball that we're seeing. And the forts are all down. Structural advantage goes massively over to Granit Gaming. but they're still behind in kills. And they can still fall behind in the game too, because kills are becoming more and more important as the game continues and the death timers rise. So we'll see that. It's already the setup right here. Top lane that's currently completely held by Mal'Ganis. And they're trying to steal the items away. They see Mal'Ganis top side. Rotation is now coming. The attempt to go for Misha. It would be an easy kill there, but nice route after the Misha's done. Triple Panda comes in, and the arrow connected. And this time Alarak is dead immediately. There's also the kill against Li Ming, and they're going for more. They want to go for the Pandas up towards the top. We're having Sanctification being used. Shen is dead, but that's not the main question. The question is, can the rest of the team somehow get away here? Gulnar definitely won't be able to pull that one off, but at least Wit survives. That's 4 kills, and in total 7 now against the 4 that we saw from Feel the Heat. And with the camp taken, the immediate pressure bot lane is going to eliminate this keep for sure. More pressure through the bottom of the map, through Granit Gaming, which will allow them to end with another Protector. With the death timers a little bit higher, I could have seen them try and make a play for the core here. Then again, always remember what happened in game number 1. Also, Alarak obviously lost his sadism now, which is definitely another big issue. Is down back to 90. And thanks to the control that we have seen now from Granit Gaming, they're going straight in for another item advantage. They're still holding on to at least 1 turret. They get the healing beacon, and they will be able to just move down here and take turret number 2. And since they are also so far ahead in experience, this is a big problem just generally speaking. The stats advantage itself is already quite comfortable for them. And in addition to that, they are starting to close in on level 20 talents now that they reach 19. So things are definitely looking good for Granit Gaming as they are attempting to force game number 3 and win this. 3 items for now, against 0. Nothing for Feel the Heat. Zip, nada, zilch, niente. Down to the bottom of the map, Kiava is still riding around on the Goblin. And if he gets... Rexar comes in with a feign death. Triple Panda. They're really trying to force something right now. I mean, for good reason. This is the only fight before level 20 that they're going to get. So they're jumping on Chris here, trying to get the kill against Hanzo, and they nearly made it happen. I mean, you gotta give some kudos to Feel the Heat. They're really, really trying to take this or turn this around. But Granit Gaming were able to keep Chris alive. Now we have a little bit of action burst going out and up at the top here. Here's another salvo in. No level 20 yet, but nearly the kill against Ana. Oh my god, Gulnar is low. Nano boost on Ana. Again, the arrow connecting from Hanzo. There's the Tranquility and also the healing beacon on the ground, but they need a couple of kills. And they're trying to get them against Ana. Chris not able to get the kill right away. And they're actually not able to get a single hero taken down. Can they maybe force a fight here? But they have level 20 now. Level 20 is in, the Unconquered Spirit is ready, the Bullseye for Hanzo, and also the Boars are going to get unleashed. And that's not the only thing, we're having the unlocked 3rd Protector. The objective is up, and that means that we have now a chance for them to get Protector number 3 and end this game, since on the bot side we don't have a single keep left. Lauba and Chris still sitting tight though. I'm trying to see if they can maybe even take this one. And, well, for that, Rexar would have to make a move. He's already starting to move in. This is again another fight where Feel the Heat says we might as well take this fight because it gets only worse from here on out. They're losing Wit though. Wit gets eliminated. And Granit Gaming, they are trying to get another kill. Now again, if you don't really understand quite a lot about the competitive aspect of this, then you might look at this fight and say like, oh my god, why would they ever take this battle? They don't have level 20. The problem is they're not going to get level 20 until the Protector is out. So the choice that Feel the Heat had was take a fight against level 20 in a 5 versus 5 in this position, or take a fight with level 20 plus the Protector in the hands of Granit Gaming on around the core when the game is on the line. And they made the decision to go for this fight first because they know that Tyrael is going to be back in time to give them the second bad fight as well. So it's actually a good choice for them to take that battle, despite the fact that they were heavily behind and it was a bit of a long shot to win this one. But now they're finding themselves in pretty much a similar spot. Again, the Protector taken by Granit Gaming and level 20, and they have Tyrael back and can now still try and go for that fight and hope to turn it around here. But they need to force it early. That's something that they might be able to pull off, but I gotta tell you, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be a rough one, but here comes Chen with the Triple Panda, still for the backline again. going for Henning. Everybody is going for Henning. There's the Sanctification, and Malfurion is dead, so they get the kill. Full on force against him. Now Kieva trying to get resets, and instead he's going in a little bit too deep and gets taken down. Tai gets saved by the Unconquered Spirit here. His level 20 is making it possible. Tyrael is down, Li Ming is dead, and the attack can now start. But the problem is, without the support, it starts to become a little bit less likely. Kolios is now at 36 stacks on the level 4 and has 123 sadism. So it's not quite over yet. I mean, you all know it's not over until the fat lady sings. But right now, I can already hear her taking a deep breath and gonna start with that song because Core is falling again. Alarak is trying to do what he can to burn it down, and they might get the kill against Phoenix, and indeed they do. But the Core is not looking too good at 30%. With the Protector still in play, this is gonna be it. Game 3 forced by Granit Gaming as they take the victory on Volskaya Foundry. Infernal Shrines, Game 3. We are here, Granit Gaming against Feel the Heat. So, it's actually going to be interesting who takes this now. I looked at the series and I really felt that Feel the Heat is a team that can, with a bit of aggression, surprise Granit Gaming maybe, especially considering that Granit Gaming switched 2 of their players as well. But I didn't really expect this first game that we saw. It was just nuts. Game number 2, Granit obviously forcing the issue now. But in this case, we have first pick, first ban again for Feel the Heat. And on Infernal Shrines, I mean, anything can happen here. So let's see what's gonna happen in this third game. Because the new washed up is actually waiting in the next round of the tournament. With a bit of a weird name. They call themselves now Washed France. Since they have more French players these days. So you can always make the argument the French were always like a dirty bunch, and that's why it's nice that they finally washed themselves here. People suggested Washed Baguette, which I think has a little bit too much of a sexual innuendo, so I'm happy that they didn't go for that. But either way, if you get yourself such a weird name, then you're definitely asking for just dumb comments about it. So yeah, it's a bit of a weird name that they have. They could have definitely done a little bit more of a different one. People suggested Bratwurst and Baguettes, which actually makes a lot of sense. That would have been a fun one, since a couple of the players there are, of course, German as well. Either way, that's not quite the series that we're looking at here. We're looking at Game 3 in Granit Gaming and Feel the Heat. Starting things off with a ban on Diablo, actually. I mean, it's Infernal Shrines. He is pretty solid there. Zeratul gets banned too. That actually leaves a lot of the heroes that have been taken away in the previous games as well. And keep in mind, so far, the offlane has actually not been targeted. We could see a Leoric pick in on this map, on the other hand. Great on the shrine itself, great on the other setups there too. So far, we've seen twice Chen and Rex are taken. And there's the Tacita ban. Vala is still up. Vala is obviously good here because she can get additional value through the multi-shot. And there's the Chen first pick. Chen taken really quickly. But yeah, what are we gonna see for Henning? Henning interests me right now because, again, normally his pick is Tyrande. On this map, oftentimes they're switching into Malfurion instead. Gives you sustain, gives you also root control. And there we have it. Malfurion and ETC. No, so not the Tyrande ETC setup that oftentimes is part of their MO, but a slightly different lineup right now where they have more control over the shrines and also in the entrances into the shrines. Can still combo that off, by the way, with Tacita, Tracer if you really wanted to. Tacita is obviously taken away, but still. And yeah, Feel the Heat. They go for the Tyrande setup. Hans and Tyrande, pretty nasty setup as well, but also good targets for a possible Tracer. Now again, they are flexible enough now with the new additions that they can definitely shift things slightly. Now, I would still expect Copenhagen to take the offlane, but they can, for example, put Tai on Tracer and then let Chris play something else. Yeah, they have definitely options where they can shift it around. Chris has also played offlane for his previous team for Washed Up here quite a bit, so we could see that. First of all, we're having Johanna banned out. Great also with the wave clear and therefore shrine control. Garrosh is still up, if you wanted to play around Garrosh with this. with Tyrande. Could definitely do that, but ETC is pretty decent into Garrosh, can always create that space that you need to stay away from him. So I would say it's a little bit less likely that that happens. If you want to go full aggression, then Anubarak is a great option for Feel the Heat, even though Anubarak has started to fall off. He has the Tracer ban, good one too, for reasons mentioned a second ago. But let's see. The blue team. I mean, in terms of damage, yeah, there's Vala. As more or less expected, I'd say. Tai could take or fear or something on those lines. Yeah, Jaina fits, of course, as well. It was banned out in the previous game. And now with the Malfurion and ETC lockdown, that's a good one too. It provides additional wave clear. Which means we are left with the offlane. Leo kind of fits, but at the same time, you would probably like to have something a bit more beefy, since you're running ETC in the main tank role. And what else are we gonna have? There's the Garrosh setup, regardless. Garrosh and Greymane. I like that Greymane is getting picked. Garrosh will have to prove himself against ETC, who has, of course, a couple of really good tools. And there's Leo. As mentioned previously, he is a big option here. All shall suffer, ladies, as we are heading into game number 3 of our best of 3 series here at the HeroesHype Premier Series. Game number 3 in the best of 3 series. The final map between the two teams here, before we are heading into the semi-finals of the HeroesHype Premier Series. Right now we have on the left side Granit Gaming in blue with Henning on Malfurion, Copenhagen on Leoric, Lauber on ETC, Chris on Vala, and Tai on Jaina. On the right side of the map, Feel the Heat. After initial victory on map number 1, they are now forced to play on the third map, going the full distance here, with Wit on Garrosh, Galnagulnar on Tyrande, and we're having Kieva on Greymane, Kolios on Hanzo, and Stalk again on Chen. So yeah, time to shine, and we have the Vala setup again. Vala was an immediate ban on map number 2 after Chris pretty much ripped them a new one on the first map, but that was again with a double support, which obviously makes things a little bit more interesting and easier for them. Now we're going to see the multi-shot hybrid again with Hot Pursuit, the standard level 1 talent, but after that we're going to see them with multi-shot focus, so that they also get additional value from every single phase on the shrines themselves. Greymane is obviously great for the poke against the shrine too, but later on will be quite valuable trying to take structures down when they're pushing with a Punisher, and even when they're trying to defend against one. So we have, as the level 1 talents, in regards to Greymane, an adjustment as well. Block party for Lauber, as he slides into it immediately. Stun into stun, as Galnagulnar connects this one here. And Leo has taken Consume Vitality up the top lane. Should actually end up with a lot of damage later on. He will probably, around level 10, be one of the main damage dealers in the game, just simply because he can get easy drains against Stalk's Chen the entire time. That is going to boost his damage numbers quite reliably, in the early stages at least, that is. Camps taken from both sides, so both of them already moving in for that. And in this case, it's usually the battle at the bottom of the map that really becomes important, where Granit Gaming is starting to take a lead. The focus in the middle from the Greymane setup, as we're having another camp about to be taken by Granit. But this one is going to be pressured out very, very quickly. And then it's going to be some pressure against this wall here for sure. Whereas down at the bottom of the map, the defense has now started too. And a little bit of a quick attack here against them. One of the turrets already a little bit low. Greymane actually having a little bit more time in the middle of the map, trying to take another wave down and allowing the Khazra camp to dig a little bit deeper. But there's the follow-up. And Kieva is already on the run. Lauber not able to chase him down too hard. But again, early scrimmages between the two teams. So a little skirmish right here. Neil Peasants, as expected, punishment, and now the Frost Shards. Both of them working for the first objective and making sure that they're also going to get their camp set up for this. Stalk topside, trying to still make his play, but yeah, looking at the damage output, and as expected, top damage for the team is Leo. On the other side, Chen with hero damage, also fairly far up to the front here. It's the two solo laners that in the early game are usually just taking the lead here, and that's not going to change anytime soon. It's going to be the first shrine actually that we're going to look for. ETC, by the way, has the top damage here, so my apologies. Leo was not quite able to pass him. ETC crawling around, but again, it's not really a lot of fighting that has been going on so far, but just a bit of tickle damage on both sides. But this is gonna change. Now his objective number 1 is up. Chen actually with the delayed camp taken. Stork is waiting for the camp of the opponent to cross over so that they get an advantage topside and can push this out really easily. This is where Chen is headed already, but they're giving up their position on the shrine as we have the blue team with full 5-man trying to take down as many of those minion stacks as they possibly can early on. That's exactly what's going on here. So yeah, there we have them with 23 against 8 just as the fight starts. Top lane now pushing for Feel the Heat thanks to the camp. Nearly a kill against Lauber, but the heal is there. Waits for the cooldown. Stork low, Wit low, both of them in trouble. They need to back off here, but Kiva is zoning out Malfurion. Henning is falling back. And the position has now been claimed by Feel the Heat as they're trying to draw even with their opponent. But it's still 29 against 22 stacks and it's getting close. But here's the 5-man pushing in again, trying to get a kill against Garrosh. Push him in, and that's the end. 34 stacks, 35 against 26, and the red team has to give this one up. Try to get a bit of value up to the top, but Kopmark has already made his rotation happen, and therefore they defend this one easily. Whereas in the middle of the map, with level 7 now in their hands, Granit Gaming is making that push for fort number 1. Unlikely to get the fort, but should be able to get at least the wall. The burn against the Punisher is there, and Lauber is actually starting to get aggressive with this. Jumps in pretty deep, gets hit though, and the lockdown again against Garrosh, and Wit is down once more. Even the Indomitable couldn't help him here. The counter kill against Lauber makes it worth it though, but the fort is down, and Chris is not stopping. Nope. The last hit, the kill steal by Kopmark as he comes in with a mace to the face, but Chris is saying, alright, if I can't get this one, then I'm gonna get another one. Jumps in and just showcases once again why Vala is one of his primary heroes and always has been whenever Vala was able to jump into the nether. Plays like this is one of the reasons why I'm always so flabbergasted that we actually don't see Vala in the North American meta. When we had the playoffs for the last season of HeroesHype, Vala played a huge role in drafting for a lot of the European teams, whereas on the North American side, she was completely disregarded throughout the entire tournament. It was a little bit crazy. I mean, again, the buffs against her were not too insane, but the hit point boost definitely allows her now to be a lot more aggressive, and she's not as much of an insta-kill anymore as she was previously. So right now, 10,000 damage already on Vala, and they, after taking the fort in the middle of the map, rotated to the bottom to take the wall there as well. And this is just a great setup for them. Heroic abilities are giving them obviously another advantage, where they can now attempt to control the map enough to take both of the mercenary camps. That's what we should definitely see from them here. Up at the top side, still Stork pushing this out for now. Bottom of the map, okay, there we have the setup from Tyus. He slows them down. There's already more slows, and the Entomb against Wit, which should secure kill number 3 against Garrosh. He's dead again, 5 kills against 1 now. They are looking fairly strong here. Very, very strong with this. The rotation towards the camp is going to give them even more pressure. Yes, level 10 is ready for Feel the Heat now, but they won't be able to do anything about this because they don't have their tank, and they might actually lose even more. Well, the arrow comes in, and also the flank from the back, and here comes the Panda against Ty, and that's the kill. The Panda down as they're focusing on it. There's a little bit of a party though as Lauber came in. Power slides away as the team is not able to get a kill out of this one. And it still ends with with Jaina eliminated. Nicely done. Counter kills from Feel the Heat. Well played by Stork and also by Kolios. The two of them tag teaming the backline and doing incredibly well with this one. So nicely done. At this point, we're having mainly, of course, the focus on the bottom of the map now. And there's the fountain eliminated. Yeah, Leo has definitely to shine there. And see if he can actually get those entombs through. Once again, going for the good old Diablo setup here. The warmth of life has entered my tomb. Alrighty. You all will know what that means. Prepare yourself, mortal, to serve my master for eternity. Good old Diablo times. But yeah, so far Leo had actually quite a bit of an impact when it came to the Entomb against Garrosh. But once that he has level 20 in the Buried Alive, that's going to be a completely different setup. I mean, then it's going to be absolutely bonkers. But already they are ahead, and they take the lead on the objective again with 17 stacks now. That's gonna be a big one for them. And, well, down here, Ty might... Okay, he actually sees it and immediately drops the pings there. And he needs to. Nearly walked into sure death there. But with that big of a lead right now, it is a bit scary. Because I don't know how Feel the Heat is planning to come back into that objective. Well, the good arrow might be a great start, but the follow-up stun doesn't connect. And here comes the Panda, but as long as Stork doesn't get a kill with the rest of the team now, they are going to be in trouble. They're trying to, but they're so far behind on the objective that I really think this is going to be absolutely insane. There we go. Yeah. Ults are over. And that should be all that they need to get this objective. And you can already see that Feel the Heat is starting to move back. They've just shot the entire setup that they had. Didn't get anything out of it. And they know that they just don't have a chance winning without that, especially since level 13 is now so close. So they're starting to jump in now and see what they can pull off of this. Vala in this case with Bloom again on level 13. And we're also now seeing the Icy Dames and the Ominous Wrath. Jaina was always a little bit of a cold bitch. And at this point, ice literally running through her veins here to just lock everything down. And that's exactly what we're seeing from Ty. Coming in again and just wrecking them. But I don't think you can keep up with the damage that we're seeing from Chris now. Definitely a different damage output that we're having from them. Not in the sense that he doesn't really provide enough, but obviously it's more the burst damage and the securing of kills that you are interested in when you're talking about Jaina, at least with this setup, and not quite what we're seeing when you look at Vala and her continuous damage output through frost shots, multi-shots in particular. Frost shot is going to come in on level 16 and give them a little bit more. Actually, against this setup, maybe not. Considering that they already have the control from Jaina, we might actually see Manticore instead. Now that I think about it. It will be a good one for them too. 13 versus 13 talents now. And, well, maybe that's the time to turn things around here. But so far, Granit has looked great. They have taken 3 forts down. 3 forts already eliminated. Arrow and cleansed out by the Nature's Cure. Chris on the run. The team still fighting. There comes the taunt. Is Lauber gonna go for the mosh? No. Doesn't want to party with the boys here. Panda then again, once more with the ult, but it might be a bit too late. Yeah, Ty moves out of this one with ease as well. And you can really tell that Feel the Heat, they want to force fights. They really want to force something here. They want to take these battles. They just want to make sure that with their ults they can set something up. But now that we're having Granit Gaming waiting out the ult again, they're making the play once more. Dibbles is not in the game, but we have at least some Diablo characters, and one of them is Leoric, who just dropped the Entomb and secured the kill against Garrosh. Nice save, right? Oh yeah, baby! Looks like I've done this before. What a save! But Caster Diablo isn't in the game. Alrighty. God, that was a good save. Can be proud of that one. Komang, our Diablo character, which was always what I was going for with this. I mean, it was always intended to come out as that sentence. Leo is obviously leading in the wave clear department, or at least it should. And nope, obviously I kind of forget about Vala again. Multi-shots, multi-shots, multi-shots. Every time. And top lane. Look at the invades here. Even with the level 16 talent, they're just saying, guys, we have to YOLO it at some point. Still frost shot, no Manticore that we're seeing. And we have also the Northern Exposure. Yeah. Now you're in a little bit of trouble. Can you really fight this with level 16 ready? I don't really think so, to be honest with you. But let's see. Right now, the mid lane is getting defended by the red team. But I think the blue team has no problems fighting right now. I mean, just look at Leo. He's already looking for a setup. Good move again from Hanzo. Securing the position there and making sure that they are knowing when someone is moving down through it. But the camp is now taken away too. And yeah, let's see. There's the push at the top. That's now 1 camp. And Catapults, double camp plus Catapults. What do you want more? A talent lead. And guess what? They have that as well. So yeah, great setup for them. Chen isn't even here. So they're just saying, oh, look at that. We can push this now, baby. But with the Shrine activating, they're just playing the safe card here. Again, you need to keep in mind where we are. We are at game number 3. They actually lost map number 1 against them. So you don't want to risk too much now by going for the keep, for example. Instead, you can just play it safe around the objective the entire time and secure yourself a move into the semi-finals. Unless you get wiped at some point, as happened in game number 1. So it's by no means over. And that's a lesson that Granit Gaming learned on Dragonshire. So now they're trying to play this safe with the Arcane Punisher. They still have a lead in talents. Not for much longer, but it still gives them a solid lead. And as you can tell, with 25 against 1, that's obviously another lost Punisher for Feel the Heat. I don't even know why they're going in at this point, because I don't think they can win this. Even if they get a kill or two now, just the outside poke would secure the would have secured for the opponent. That didn't work out either. Now we're at 36 points, and Wit is in trouble. Wit gets locked down, and Wit gets wrecked. Yep, that was that. And now we have another Punisher moving through the bot lane. So in addition to just losing a hero, now getting attacked even more. Copenhagen wanted to get close enough to get another entomb through. But at least Hanzo's scatter arrow dismounted him immediately, and that helped to avoid additional kills. But yeah, it's getting really tricky down here, because this should be keep number 1. This could, in theory, be more. Do you get another kill? That's the question. And well, not with a mosh pit and a tomb like this. I mean, both of them didn't connect here. Yeah, that was more than a bit unfortunate. That's 2 cooldowns that just got burned for no reason. And I think with those both used and for 0 value and a 5-man ready on the other side, they need to move back from here now. Tai is already eating a lot of damage, needs to be a little bit careful. Kieva is jumping in on Greymane again, is trying to get a bit more damage in against Leo and maybe prepare a kill for the rest of the team. It didn't really look too good. Copenhagen, if the E dies, that's always okay. Leo, you can sacrifice him. Arrow gets dodged, that was a big one. And Tai slows them down slowly and steadily. But again, there's more coming, and Tai is a bit low. Tai is really low. Tai is super low, and they have vision, and they get the kill. Tai eliminated, 7 kills against 4. Feel the Heat trying to get back into this. And they're trying. Can they really pull it off? Because up towards the top, that's a double catapult that is currently starting to home in onto the keep. So you might lose even more there. And that's going to be another issue for them. And Leo is actually coming back any seconds, and he has Entomb. They could go for an Entomb down here, and might just pull that off. They just keep them fighting for now. And as we said previously, Kolios is now trying to move back. Is he going to be there in time to save the keep? And I guess the answer to this one is yes. Keep is going to be safe. It's going to take a little bit more damage, but I don't think it is going to fall. Nah, there's 1-2 shots maybe that they can push out, and that's it. So the keep is still there. But it's extremely low and up for grabs now at any point. We're having also a level 19 and nearly a half now for the blue team as they're going from camp to camp, taking the mercenaries here. Already 1 stolen away. Obviously, a fight could be forced now. 98% by the way on the core 2, so it lost the few points. Big arrow, but also big nature's cure. Very well done here by Henning. Getting the level 7 through right away, and so that arrow was pretty much negated immediately. Leo again a little bit low, but also getting the max value here from his level 13 and 16. And oh my god, now we're talking damage. Vala and Jaina wrecking them. And that's a 4-man kill. Level 20 heroes are already available for them now. They have level 20 abilities. I don't even know why they're chasing Hanzo. They don't even need to. It's only 2 of them either way, because the rest of the team is already moving straight down to the bottom of the map to finish what they started. Granit Gaming, definitely a couple of hiccups in game number 1, losing the first map of the best of 3 series, but now in this quarterfinal they take the victory eventually against Feel the Heat and move on to the semi-final of the HeroesHype Premier Series qualifier. GG and well played. Granit Gaming victorious on Inferno Shrines.